All rise. Oyez, oyez, oyez. Silence is commanded by this honorable commission. All those having business, draw near.
Thank you, and you may be seated. First thing I want to ask you as you be seated to please, ma'am, please, sir, check your phones. All right? Make sure they are silent. As he says, silence is commanded. And we have the sheriff here and also have his deputy here, plus we have the police department here. And they don't mind going home with full pockets. And then you have to go to the sheriff bed and breakfast to get it back. All right? So I want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. Please, ma'am, please, sir, at this time, check your cell phones. I've asked you to be seated at this time as we prepare ourselves for our inspiration and our invocation. And we happen to have a good friend of mine. Pastor Galloway is here from the First Union. And let me say that's Mr. Kegler's pastor as well, all right? And he's going to come and he's going to bring it to us. But at a point, he will ask, we will have the invocation. When he asks for have prayer, I ask you all to stand. And after the prayer, Commissioner Stone will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, all right? And so, Pastor Galloway, it's so good to have you here with us. And we look forward to your words of wisdom, your words of understanding for us. And I'm gonna have to read what they gave me. All right, so I won't get in trouble with Miss Gale. Reverend Vernon Galloway is a native of Wilmington, South Carolina. He has been a licensed Baptist minister since May of 1996. Reverend Galloway has studied management and religion. He served for 4 years in the United States Marine Corps and has been employed by Gulfstream Aeronautics for more than 36 years. He has been the pastor of First Union Baptist Church since 2019. It's so good to see you again, and we haven't seen each other in a while, but it was good to see you as I came out. And so at this time, let me present you, and you may come to the mic, all right? And the floor is yours.
First of all, I would like to say good morning to each and every one of you.
Good morning.
Not only those that I see in my front, but those that are behind me. I am indeed honored to be here. I live on the southwest portion of the county. And this morning as I was driving in, I had an opportunity to see people of all walks of life. I passed a homeless camp or two. I saw people walking their dogs. I saw families walking just for general exercise. And there was a great sense of joy that came over me as I came closer to the city. For about 37 years ago, I moved here. I was 22 years old. I had no desire to know what government did. I wanted no restraints and no boundaries. But thank God, people like you recognize nothing happens without leadership and government. So thank you for your tireless efforts, the late night phone calls, the repeated questions that you have to answer over and over and over and over and over again. I appreciate the way you display yourselves with honor and integrity. And this brings me to a time of reflection from the book of Ecclesiastes. There's an old king called King Solomon. The Bible says there no one could touch his wisdom. And so when we elected you, or when we began to support you, we were expecting to see your wisdom on display. And so this great leader, as he was in his latter years, he scribed Ecclesiastes 3:1, and I would like to share these verses. The great Solomon wrote, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend or to tear apart, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak. I thank God for you men and women who speak for us, who look into our neighborhoods, see what we need, and you speak for us. You spend our money or you craft laws that look out for the best of us. So with that, I say thank you on the behalf of the citizens of Savannah, the county, and we're just grateful that you're here. Thank you for what you do every day. And with that said, I would like to pray for you.
Let us stand.
Heavenly Father, we approach your throne this morning with grace and with integrity. We come saying we're humans, lower than the angels, lower than the heavens. But if you would speak over us and teach us to learn your ways, then we would teach others to adore you, to love you, to hear you, to see you. We thank you, dear God, for these great leaders from wherever they come. Some were born in this city, some were born in others, but you brought us to this common place. And so for the good of Savannah, it's Chatham County in particular, we ask you to watch over these leaders, encourage their hearts when they're broken and beat down, and when things appear to be too hard for them, let them know that all power is in your hand. And so, God, as I pray for these great leaders, I pray for my county and city. I ask you to bless us abundantly. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Stone.
To the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Pastor Galloway, before you disappear, we just want to say thank you for coming and being with us this morning and for bringing us your words of wisdom. We cannot pay you, but we give you our appreciation for you being here and for sharing that with us. For it starts us out on a good course. And I always say any course that starts with prayer is a good course. Thank you, and look to see you and look to hear from you again. All right. Roll call.
Chester A. Ellis, Chairman.
Present.
Helen L. Stone, District 1, Vice Chairman.
Present.
Dean Kicklighter, District 7, Chairman Pro Tem.
Here.
Melinda Scott Hodge, District 2.
Present.
Bobby Lockett, District 3.
Present.
Patrick K. Farrell, District 4.
Here.
Tanya Milton, District 5.
Present.
Aaron Whiteley, District 6.
Here.
Kenneth A. Adams, District 8.
Now, Commissioner Adams is coming to us by Zoom. We are trying to work out the kinks, all right? Electronic bring kinks. And so he will appear and let him know, those of you who are listening to me in the control room, as soon as we have him in the portal, please let us know, all right? But his attendance is by Zoom today. With that, I'm going to call on Commissioner Milton as
Yes,
she
sir.
introduces our youth commissioners for today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm excited today to introduce and present to the audience and to the people at home these young people who I think are well on their way to success and leadership. Thank you for joining us today. We have Ms. Abigail Gregory. Abigail has spent some time with me at the Savannah Tribune as, well, I'll say she's the granddaughter of Shirley and Bob James. So she'll probably take a media role in newspaper, whether it's going to be digital, which is what the new era is presenting. And then we have Mr. Aiden Wigfall. Mr. Aiden, I'm gonna let him talk about all the things he's got. He's a graduate of Savannah High and just graduated, so he's got his plans already laid out. So you want to share with us some of your plans?
Make sure his mic is on. Touch it until it turns green. Don't press it hard.
Okay. Okay, it's on.
It's simple.
Yeah, I graduated yesterday from Savannah High.
Amen.
And thank you. Thank you. So I got accepted into Georgia State, and that's where I intend to go. I want to go. I want to major in business. Right now, for the summer, I wholesaled real estate when I started wholesaling real estate when I was 16 years old. So this summer, now that I'm 18, I want to get into developing property here in Savannah, especially in West Savannah. So by the end of the summer, I want to have had a house built in West Savannah, gone through all the proper ordinances and permits, things like that, have everything set up, and probably late August, early September, I have it sold by then. That's my goal.
That's the future, yeah, that's the future. Very good, very good. I want you to know, as youth commissioners, you have all the rights that we do here to listen and participate in our meeting. So if you have any questions and want to ask any questions, just let us know, and we want you to gather some more knowledge from this meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. The advantage you have today of being here is that school is out. So you don't have to dismiss yourself before the session is over. You can stay through the whole thing, all right? But I want to give a shout out based upon what you say your goals are and what your aims are, to those who are listening who are in the business community, all right? You can use this opportunity his summer to let him intern with some of you who are doing that kind of business. And so we hopefully somebody will connect.
And Ms. Gregory says she's going to be building a shopping mall this summer. So.
It's so good to have you, and please play an active role and just raise your hand. Sometimes I'm tunnel vision and I don't see, but somebody up here will bring it to my attention, all right? At this time also, let me introduce, we have our tax commissioner with us today, and we also have our sheriff, okay? Do I see any other constitutional officer, elected official? Who's that? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I'm glad, all right. Yeah, he won his primary, right? And there's no opponent for you in the general? All right, so you'll be joining us after a while, huh? First of the year.
You got Pat Shea out there.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna speak to us later anyway. Okay. At this time, we're getting ready for proclamations and special presentations, all right? And let me call on Commissioner Stone because it deals with mental health, and Commissioner Stone has been our yeoman's fighting for mental health, not only on the local level, but on the state level as well as the national level. And she happens to be the chairman of the health for NACO. And so I call on Commissioner Stone at this time, and I understand that Ms. Anderson is here. All right. If you can come on to the mic, and Commissioner Stone will go and make the presentation.
Mr. Chairman, would you rather me do it at the podium or here?
No, that's up to you.
Well, I'll walk down there.
Okay. All right. That's strictly up to you. I'm not. Y'all get close to the mic now, you know. It's sensitive when
Well,
you read.
what I'm reading now is just the proclamation for announcing Mental Health Month of May in conjunction with the National Association of Counties. And Mr. Chairman and my fellow commissioners, I'm very honored to present this proclamation simply because Chatham County has stepped up to the plate and addressed the issues of mental health, as well as the state of Georgia, so much so that in Tampa this summer, Commissioner Tanner with DBHDD will be one of the speakers at the Health Steering Committee. So I hope that you all will sit in on that, because Chatham County in Georgia, under all of your leadership, has taken a real step forward with mental health. So I'm going to read this proclamation. Whereas nearly 1 in 5 adults, now think about these statistics, y'all. 1 in 5 adults and 1 in 5 adolescents in the United States live with a mental illness. And whereas mental health impacts a person's emotional, social, environmental, financial, and overall well-being, with significant disparities among racially and ethnically diverse communities. And whereas suicide is the second leading cause of death for 15 to 24-year-olds. With teenagers experiencing a 17.3 increase in the use of anxiety medications since 2010, and whereas 1/3 of the United States population lives in a county designated as a mental health professional shortage area, and whereas an estimated 44% of residents detained in jails are suffering from a mental illness, often with co-occurring substance use disorders, and whereas promoting mental health and wellness leads to higher overall productivity, better educational outcomes, lower crime rates, stronger economies, lower health care costs, improved family life, improved quality of life, and increased lifespan. Now, therefore, on the behalf of our chairman, the Chatham County Board of Commissioners, I do proclaim May 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Chatham County and encourage other governmental agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, schools, and nonprofit agencies across the state to commit to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Chatham County to be affixed this 24th day of May 2024. And I want to thank this lady, and I want to thank Tara, and I want to thank our sheriff, and I think there are people here from Gateway. All of you all are making a difference in the lives of people that wake up in the morning and cannot necessarily navigate their day. So my heart, deep appreciation goes out to every single one of you that are involved in this profession. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, the mic is yours, Ms. Anderson. She wants you to stay right there.
Thank you all. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Felicia Anderson. I'm with Gateway Community Service Board. I'm the director over our child and adolescent mental health services, as well as director over outreach. But more importantly, today I am our chair for our Chatham County Regional Community Collaborative. And we are happy to be here, and I also have a special guest. She's shy, so I'm not gonna put her on. But many of you know Dr. Mark Johnson, and this is his wife, Mrs. Marsha Johnson. And we had the honor to honor Dr. Mark Johnson with our Mental Health Innovation Day. The proclamation in this day will coincide with Mental Health Awareness Month. And we are honoring him because he was a visionary leader and CEO of Gateway Community Service Board. His impact is felt by leaving a lasting impression of innovation, creativity, and advancing mental health services within Chatham County and statewide. In honor of Dr. Johnson, we are also honoring Commissioner Helen Stone. Innovation and creativity. She has been able to identify innovative approaches in advancing mental health services. Impact on mental health services. She has recognized specific outcomes and success throughout our county to help impact all individuals who need help the most. And community engagement. Commissioner Stone has acknowledged community engagement to help reduce stigma and promote awareness of mental health across different demographics. We believe by officially recognizing Commissioner Stone in honor of Dr. Mark Johnson and the Mental Health Innovation Day and Award, and in support of you all, we take extra work into making sure our important work is being done to advance mental health, wellness, and services. And we are again thankful that you are considering this. And I don't know if Ms. Marsha wants to share just a few words.
When we moved here in 2015, my husband hoped this would be a meaningful job, his last job before he retired, and it was so much more. And I think that is due in large part to the diligence and the cooperative spirit of the mental health community here in Savannah. And so it's an honor to have this presented in his name, and it's an honor that Commissioner Stone is the recipient. Thank you.
And so, this is the award. And just a little bit about the award. We specifically chose the color green because that's Mental Health Awareness Month. As you can see, I'm wearing green today. And also, Dr. Mark Johnson, he loved flowers. And so we shaped this into a vase. So you are more than welcome to add whatever flowers that will inspire you to continue to do the amazing work that you do. It says Dr. Mark Johnson, Mental Health Innovation Award 2024 to Commissioner Heller Stone for being an innovator, advocate, and champion. Thank you for all that you do. We appreciate you. We truly do. Okay.
Turn around now, and the three of you get in the, so we can get the, there you go, picture time. There you go. Get the proclamation and hold it, and then, yeah, there we go. All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Let me ask, we have several members from, you all stay standing, Ms. Johnson and Ms. Anderson. Yeah, y'all stay standing. Now, everybody from Gateway stand. Everybody who's here who's connected to Gateway. Who's that you trying to signal to stand over there? Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me say this now. I'm waiting on the manager, and I'm waiting on you all to give me the groundbreaking date for the Child Adolescent Center, all right? We need to go ahead and do that, and for those of you who may not know in the public, we obtained $15.5 million from the state of Georgia to build a Child Adolescent Center, and especially to help our teenagers who are having a whole lot of trouble. Juvenile court is packed with kids who shouldn't be there, all right? Because they're not bad. They have mental disorders that we are not treating, and so to have them go through that system, and so we need to get that groundbreaking. I was hoping it was going to be before the end of the month, but I know that's not possible. So y'all know now I've got to do a lot of traveling in July and June, so y'all get the date together, and let's do the groundbreaking, okay? So we can get that to the commissioners and we can get that to the public, because we need to get that going now, all right? Thank you all. I just want to make sure that the public knows that that's how we are playing a part, all right? Anybody else? All right, thank you, ma'am, so much. Okay. Sure, go.
I do want to acknowledge Dr. Johnson was not just a phenomenal leader on a huge scale. My daughter Fern works for Gateway, and she was personally enamored with him as a leader. So I do want to acknowledge what a wonderful leader, an amazing award. And our colleague Helen, I tell her all the time, I cannot believe she's bowing out gracefully. She will be so missed. I know her work will continue. So what a beautiful honor for our commissioner on today. Thank you for what you've done.
All right. Thank you. Let me now call on Mr. Vinton, the Director of the Chatham County Occupational Safety, Risk Management, and Disability Services, if you will come forward. And we're getting ready to present the proclamation, all right, for National Safety Month. And the proclamation reads as following. The County of Chatham, Georgia, proclamation. Whereas each year, millions of Americans suffer through disabling workplace injuries with almost 40,900 occurring in the state of Georgia alone. And whereas all citizens deserve to live in communities that promote safety and healthy living environments and safe communities requiring the cooperation of all levels of government, business, and industry employees, as well as the general public. And whereas through the support and obligation of the National Safety Month each year, employees are helping to revive and prevent the increase in accidents, injuries, and deaths.
Okay, you got it?
Now therefore,
Yes,
I,
sir.
Chester A. Ellis, Chairman on behalf of the Chatham County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim June 2024 as Chatham County Safety Month and encourage all employees and citizens to establish and maintain safe practices in their homes, workplace, and communities. In witness whereof, I have here to set my hand and cause the seal of Chatham County, Georgia to be affixed this 24th day of May 2024. The mic is yours.
Thank you. Chairman Ellis, Commissioners, thank you for recognizing the important role our team plays within Chatham County. Our team consists of Jaime Petrie, our Administrative Assistant, Mark Adams, our Safety Compliance Manager, and Ed Randolph is our Risk Manager. Not with us today is Lee Harold and Ben Lewis. With the support of this board and county management, we're continuing to see a decrease in frequency and severity of workplace injuries within our workforce. This proclamation recognizes every member of Team Chatham's dedication to ensuring that we maintain an exemplary workplace that is safe and injury-free. So thank you.
All right, and we're so elated that we are celebrating national safety, and on the heels of it starts in June. All right, and let me just tell you now, I listen real close in the mornings, every morning, and the forecast for hurricanes have increased. All right, they're up to 25 named storms this year, and hurricanes have increased, and that comes in June 1 as well. And so safety is going to play a real important part, especially if in this area, as we must be prepared for anything that comes along in the storm area or in the hurricane area. And so to promote the safety and well-being of this community and the entire community is great and is good. And we thank you so much for the job you all do, all right? We don't want you to think that it goes beyond our recognizing the hard work and things you do for us. Again, congratulations and thank you so much.
Thank
Any
you.
commissioner?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
I would like to just say to this group, the county is doing quite a bit as far as drainage to be prepared for the hurricane season 2.
All right, we're working to keep people safe. All right. Thank you so much in the role that you play in doing that.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, I'm going to call to the podium Ms. Owens from Juvenile Court. All right, and she's going to bring our new director. And I just want to say before you start anything, it's just called baptism under fire. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning.
Commissioners. I serve as the Chatham County Juvenile Court Administrator, and it is my pleasure to introduce our new Front Porch Director, Ms. Danica Rubenstein. A little bit of history on the Front Porch is it is a community risk reduction program. It was established by court order in 2018 through a collaboration with Chatham County, this Board of Commissioners, the Juvenile Court, the City of Savannah, and a wide network of community support. We actually have some of our interagency oversight board members for the Front Porch here today with us, so we're excited to see them. The Front Porch operates to identify youth and family that are at risk of becoming involved with the court system, either through dependency, delinquency, children in need of services. With the support of this board, we all have created a center where we are continually bringing together local agencies that serve our youth. Not only to provide assessments, referrals to services, create intervention plans that divert those youth from the court as well as support them, improve community safety, and lead to better outcomes. In leading the front porch, Ms. Rubenstein joins us with strong experiences that will contribute to our ongoing support of our youth, including a former probation officer, police officer, CPS youth service worker, and most recently, the director of attendance for a school system. She and her family have been splitting their time between West Virginia and a home here in Savannah for over 20 years. And so with that, I introduce to you your new director.
Thank you. I'm nervous because this is where I've wanted to be all my life since I've been coming here. First of all, I want to thank you, the commission, for your support for the front porch and the mission. Since I've been here, I have, by fire, I've had my first IOG meeting for the front porch. We have entered into a donor designated agreement with the Savannah Community Foundation, which will serve as a 501c3 for donations to support the front porch mission. I have met and I'm still meeting with partners and potential new partners, and we've applied for a family resource program grant. As Ms. Owen says, my family has been coming here for a long time. I'm emotional. This is just, I'm so humbled to be here right now. I have wanted to call Savannah home, and I can finally call this place home. All I've wanted to do is, since I crossed that river to River Street when my girls were really young, fell in love with this place, fell in love with the squares, the community. My girls are now adults, and I was able to make that move. I've prayed and prayed, and God answered my prayer. So I hope I serve Savannah well. I hope and pray with God's grace that I serve this community and its youth and its families well. And I look forward to working with all of you and learning from each and every one of you, because every day is a chance to learn something new, and I hope I serve you well. Thank you all.
Thank you for, don't move yet, don't move yet. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our neighborhood, all right? It's our all hood. Now let me ask all of those board members that are from the front porch, from the different agencies, if you all would just stand. Board members who are here? Yeah, okay, if you will stand, because working with the front porch, it requires the cooperation of many agencies to meet the needs of families in crisis. And what we are trying to do there is prevent kids from getting into the juvenile justice system and getting families. And we found out that by treating the child, I remember when we first started this thing, we were calling it the mark, all right? And we moved to the front porch, but we're trying to keep, and finding out, trying to deal with children, we had to deal with the whole family. You know, because if you bring a child into a session, and when the session is over, you turn he goes right back into the chaos that's in the household. And so thank you all, because of the many agencies that have to come together, school system and all the rest that have to come together to work to benefit, and the front porch has been a rousing success, and we thank you for joining us and for leading that effort, all right? Did we get the picture? She wants you to turn around now and get the picture she has.
Mr. Chairman.
Sure. All right, let me call on Commissioner Whiteley before.
Thank you. So congratulations, Ms. Rubenstein, on your new position. I know you've got a lot of weight on your shoulders, and as you know, we as a commission fully support you all in the mission of the front porch. And I just want to thank those who are a part of the front porch. You're dealing with, oftentimes what you hear in communities is that the government doesn't care, or the systems don't care. And here is a prime example of us caring and trying to take folks out of our criminal justice system, trying to put a dent in that school to prison pipeline. And so what you're doing, the work you're doing is God's work, and we really appreciate you and all your team members, all of those associates and affiliates, those who are making donations to help support the mission, because at the end of the day, if we're not taking care of our youth and also getting to the root of families' challenges, then we're going to continue to spend money elsewhere in the community to deal with the byproducts of poverty and other things. So thank you for the work you all are doing, and I just want to salute this commission and past commissions for their investment in the Mark/Front Porch. Shout out to Louisiana, where the model was, I think, kind of shaped, and look forward to seeing this program continue to grow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much.
Mr.
All
Chairman,
right. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to also say thank you because what you all are doing with children, helping to keep them away from the judicial system is so important. And anything that we can all partner together to help, like you said, our kids, our future, it's extremely important. So thank you.
All right, any other commissioner? All right, we do have Commissioner Adams up and running now, right? All right, welcome Commissioner Adams, and thank you all. At this time, let me call on the manager. Mr. Manager?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I'm going to ask the Human Resources team to come up, and we've got a number of employees that we want to recognize today that have had various years of service, and this is one of the pleasurable things about what I do is kind of helping recognize some of the most important asset that we have is our employees. So I'm going to ask the HR team to come to the mic.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The employees that we'll be recognizing this morning have a combined total of 295 years of service. Your outstanding performance and dedication to Chatham County is an inspiration to all of us. And today we want to present you with this small token of appreciation just to say thank you. Up first, with 40 years of service, is Major Lawrence Wright.
Okay, I was wondering where it was.
Chairman, I say a thing about Lawrence.
Okay.
I hired him 40 years ago as a correctional officer. He's worked his way through the ranks to be one of my majors, and I'm in my 48th year with the county total. So, you know, the county has one of the best partnerships that you can come with, retirement benefits and everything else. And this is a prime example of somebody like him being here for 40 years with the county.
Amen. Congratulations.
With 35 years of service, Carol Osborne. With 25 years of service, Ruby Nell McCoy. (20 years of service, Sergeant David James. 20 years of service, Randall Corey. (20 years of service, Jacqueline Roberson. 15 years of service, Amanda Kennard Cruz. With 10 years of service, Angela Page. Ten years of service, April Hickey. Years of service, Louise Dennis. 10 years of service, Jody Bolton. 10 years of service, Lenorma Sams. 10 years of service, Anna Groover. 10 years of service, Mindy Ramsey with Human Resources. With 10 years of service, Connell Hayward. Five years of service, John Stockel. 5 years of service, Corporal Nicole Magnoni. 5 years of service, Jesse Everett. 5 years of service, Mark Seguin. 5 years of service, Stig Asklund. 5 years of service, Trin Potkin. 5 years of service, Christian Stolf. And last but not least, Sergeant Joshua Lee.
Let me say how proud we are of all of you who help us render the services that we need to render to our community. And we're so proud of you. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted the pitches to come back up, all right, because I know that sometimes they can't get here because of their duties. But we want you to be able to recognize them and to show their picture. Again, we say thank you and congratulations for your achievement. There are no chairman's items. There are no commissioner items. There are no table items. We go to items for individual action on our calendar. Request approval of the following budget amendments and transfer. 1, in the general fund, transfers. Y'all have a good day. All right, thank you, sir.
guess nobody wanted to stay for the fun part.
You good, you good. All right. Items for individual action. Number one, request approval of the following budget amendments and transfer. In the general fund, transfer $16,500 from contingency to ICS, subscription-based technology. Two, in the special service district, A, transfer $71,775 for contingency to engineering subscription-based technology. B, transfer $320,000 from public works salary to transfer out to capital improvement program fund. Three, in the special proposed local option sales tax fund, transfer and amend project budget as listed below. Four, in the capital improvement program fund, increase transfer in from the special service district $320,000 and increase the public work vehicle equipment project. Five, in the solid waste management fund, appropriated fund balance $300,000 to increase the M&O drop-off center of the equipment. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Properly motion is second that the request be approved. Are you ready for the question? Please signify your vote. Commissioner Adams, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Adams votes yes. All right. Transmittal of the fiscal year 2024-2025 recommended budget document and county manager's message. Mr. County Manager?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. One of the key functions and responsibilities of the county manager is put together and present a balanced budget to the Board of Commissioners. Today, I officially transmit the FY 25 budget to you, this workbook. It goes from me to you. When I turn it over today, it's officially your budget. I want to publicly announce that the team has worked really well to put this budget together. The budget is balanced. It is responsive to a lot of the key objectives that the board has set up. We've got funding in there to open up the new trial court building. We identified funding for the beginning of first to start construction on our new trial court building. We've also got a number of recommendations in this budget to address employee compensation to deal with recruitment and retention. The budget will be available to the public as of today. It'll be on the website and in the different public libraries, so the public will have a chance to view it and have input also. I want to call your attention to the dates that we've got coming up for public input on the budget. The first is on the 13th of June. We will have our first public hearing on the millage levy and budget workshop. We've got the second public meeting that same day on the 13th at 6 p.m. On June 14th, we'll have another public hearing on the budget, and we're scheduled for our third public hearing and budget adoption on June 28th. So I want to.
What time on the 14th?
It will be at 9:30. And we'll send this out to you again in memo form, so you'll have those dates and be able to put them on your schedule. As always, I would encourage any member of the commission, if they got questions while they're reviewing this workbook, please don't hesitate to give my office a call. We're going to be scheduling separate meetings with any commissioner that have questions to address your issues. So please, ma'am, please, sir, if you have questions, please get with my office and we'll be able to address those questions. So I'll have the budget staff pass out the workbooks now.
All right, while she's doing that, do we have the capabilities of putting those dates up on the screen? Can we type that in right quick and pops up on the screen? Do we have any way of doing that? If not, now don't worry about it.
Well, we'll put it on the website, so it'll be out there for the public.
All right. But no, I was talking about, I wanted to.
Good morning. Thank you,
To
Mayor.
get it out. You have a question in it? Okay, all right. Remember now, you said that this is your workbook, all right? Commissioners, so go through your workbook, get your questions in so we can get them answered, okay? Because we have to have an adoption of the budget by July 1 when the budget goes into effect. And so we invite the public to, please, ma'am, please, sir, take time to adhere to the dates that we have set up for a public hearing. And all commissioners, please take the time to get to the staff to ask those questions about your budget, all right? About the budget. Now, it's your budget now. It's not the city, it's not the manager's budget anymore. It's your budget that we're gonna be working with, okay? So we look forward to making sure you get with us and get those things done, all right?
And again, Mr. Chairman, I want to thank the members of Team Chatham, particularly the finance and budget staff, and all the elected officials. They were extremely cooperative this year in putting together this budget. And I think we've addressed all the needs that county government has, and look forward to discussing the budget further with the board.
All right. How many staff members are still here? I know she passed out the way. Is she the only one? You the only one still here? Amy knows going back upstairs? Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for what you're doing, putting this together, and we look forward to working with the board as well as working with the public to establish the budget for 2025. All right? Anything else? All right. Let us now go to our bi-monthly report from the acting chief. All right, if you come forward.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This morning briefing will provide you with an update on Chatham County Police Department's year-to-date crime statistics, starting with Part 1 crime, reporting for both violent and property crimes, and covering years 22, 23, and 24. As you can see, these numbers are representation from both East and West Side precincts year to date. In the area of violent crime, we are pleased to say this reporting period, we are showing a 14% decrease in violent crimes, noting the highlighted area of non-domestic gun assaults with a decrease of roughly half of what it was last year, down from 43 to 22. Again, with an overall decrease in violent crimes of 14%. In the area of property crimes, however, with respect to the areas of shoplifting, theft from autos, and auto thefts, these areas were significantly impacted with higher crime numbers, up to 25% and yielding an overall crime increase of 14%. We do not have a reason as of yet that we can point to for the increases. However, our officers and the detectives consistently work hard at finding those individuals who are responsible for committing these crimes. And as of this date, they have made numerous arrests in all three categories and have warrants pending for individuals who are responsible. This slide shows where crimes have occurred so far this year, and the primary areas of concern are beat 7, 8, and 9, which have experienced the largest number of cases. More than half of the crimes in beat 8 have been shoplifting cases, and I'm sure you all have probably seen for yourself situations that have occurred at the stores, particularly at the Walmarts and as late as the Dollar General stores, where individuals would go into the store and they would just simply load up their buggies and just kind of walk right out the store. We are doing what we can to support the crime supportive officers in these individual stores, but it's been a challenge. It's been difficult for them as well as for us to catch those individuals. In some cases, we are able to get tags from off of the vehicles and pursue it that way, but not in all cases. Yes, sir.
Sure. Commissioner Kickler.
When you said can't determine a reason, I mean, my guess would be because the hamburger's like $10 now, and people are, these things that they're walking out the stores, are they mainly really just food?
No, sir.
Dang, I was hoping for, even though there's no excuse, I was.
Well, some of it are food items, and here lately there's been a lot of meat items that have been taken out of the meat cases. But we've been seeing quite a bit of items such as like laundry detergent. They would go to the store and they would just simply wipe the entire shelf off of laundry items, laundry detergents, etc. So it can be any item that they are pursuing that they would go in the store and take possession of.
So it's almost organized then? If you
Well,
see all the
Well,
laundry detergent disappearing?
and one of the cases that we are currently working on, it actually involves an entire family.
Wow.
They apparently get together and decide who's going to go into the store and who's going to do what. We catch it on camera, which is a good thing, if the store cameras are working. And we go after them from that angle, and that's why I mentioned a second ago that we are pursuing warrants. We've already picked up several individuals responsible for doing such, and we are continuing to pursue them with warrants.
Good, thank you.
That sounds like organized crime.
This gentleman
Yes,
has
I'm
his
coming.
hand up, yeah.
Commissioner Wickfall? I mean, yeah. You, Commissioner.
So the map with the data showing the crimes and all that. Previously, the first slide, that's through all of 2024, right? Is this one right here?
Yes, that's through May of.
Is this like solved crimes?
Hmm?
These are part one crimes, sir.
Part one.
Yes.
Okay, part one.
Yes. These are, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Reported, okay. With like homicides, right? I don't, it's only been one
One
homicide.
on the east side, one on the west. Now, that's not for the city of Savannah.
Okay, that's what I was about to say.
This for the county.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, it's not for the city.
I don't know that shit.
Yeah, right. No, it's I got your drift. It's not for the it's not for the city of Savannah. It's only for the county.
In the parts of the county that's not in one of our cities.
Okay.
Unincorporated
Right.
only.
Unincorporated
Okay.
county. That's what these numbers are reflect. All right? Got your question answered?
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Whiteman.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Toba. Can you go back to that last slide? I know, and it probably ties directly into the next slide, and I just want to kind of highlight one of the, B8, 7 being in my district, and 12, and 9, 7, 8, and 9 being in my district. One thing I do want to highlight that I've been getting a lot of calls from my constituents in reference to the homelessness, and I think that to answer Commissioner Kicklighter's question, I think that might be one of the things that kind of is changing the scope. Now, we've always seen the shoplifting at the Walmart, so that's nothing necessarily new. Perhaps the increase, though, is based on the homelessness, and again, not to sound insensitive to those who are unsheltered, but I also want to ask for some advice for our citizens who are seeing a number of homeless encampments pop up around their neighborhoods. If you could offer some advice and also give us a little bit of just a general overview of what we can do as commissioners or as police officers in this case, understanding how the state law works with folks having rights on property and so on and so forth.
Right, so I think everyone is aware that being homeless is not a crime. So police officers have a responsibility when they're notified of a homeless issue to respond to that issue. And they do everything that they can to address whatever the specific concern or the complaint is that came in. But they can't arrest the individual because, again, it's not against the crime, not against the law to be homeless. So we work with our homeless authority and trying to find areas that these individuals are allowed to go into, like the shelters and so forth, if they want to. We can't make individuals do what they don't want to do. And you'll find that a lot of times they don't want to leave the area that they're in. We have to kind of gradually move them along. When citizens find situations or come across situations like that, and they feel they need to call the police for whatever reason, we'll respond and do whatever we have to do to help move that individual along, or to find whatever services that we can offer to that individual to help them in whatever the situation is with them.
Thank you, Chief. And again, I appreciate you saying that for public consumption, because oftentimes we're getting these calls, and I do understand that if a property owner has a homeless encampment on their property, they can come into agreement with the police department and kind of
That's right.
facilitate the removal?
Yes, sir, and we've had situations like that. But that property owner has to notify police for those types of services. We don't just take it upon ourselves to go on your private property. You may have given that individual permission to be there. So we need to get that call so that we can respond to it and do what we need to do.
Okay, and then my last question as it relates to homelessness is, so at what point does, there's a thin line, I think, as it relates to being a police issue versus a Department of Health issue. Oftentimes in these encampments, you know, there's no latrine, bathroom, excuse me, there's trash everywhere. And so is there, this is, again, I'm echoing questions that I've received from my constituents. So is there a way or a process that citizens can go about perhaps addressing the cleanliness of these encampments to DPH? Because again, nobody wants to be unhoused. I understand that. And also understanding the constituent side of things, if this becomes a blight issue, then it's greater than just a lack of compassion. It's like, hey, all right, if you're out here, so be it, but at least try to keep it nice.
And as you stated a few minutes ago, that's a part of what I'm intending to cover.
Yes, ma'am.
In my next slide. I actually mentioned in the next slide the training that our officer, Officer Jeff Young, has attended in an effort to try to facilitate some of these concerns. As you know, working with Commissioner Stone, we are just now coming on board with trying to do our part with homelessness and homeless camps. We've always responded, but now we are part of an interagency program, so we are all working together. And that includes the zoning department, that includes the housing authority, that includes the homeless authority, and all the different interagencies that's working together to try to address these types of issues.
Thank you, Chief. And again, I just wanted to kind of put some of this out for public consumption, so I appreciate you obliging me there.
Sure. And to get to that point, I want to mention again that our liaison officer, Officer Jeff Young, Sergeant Young, is our homeless expert, as we call him from time to time. He's out in the neighborhoods on a regular basis, responding to calls for services. He visits the homeless camps. He goes to all of the interagency programs and talk with individuals. He actually responded to, I think you had called in a call relative to Crane Break, and he responded to Crane Break to attend a meeting to try to help facilitate what your concerns were. And I believe he answered the questions at that particular meeting, and he's accessible and willing to respond to any resident that calls or any commissioner that might call asking for support in this arena. So he's doing everything that he can do at this point, attending the meetings, like I said, coordinating with other county government agencies to get the job done. So we won't have that much of a problem when we go into the camps. He's getting to know all these individuals so that he can make the decisions that need to be made.
Yes, ma'am. And if I can just for a second, just sing some praises for Sergeant Young. He's been incredibly professional, incredibly accessible, incredibly knowledgeable on what we can and can't do. And I appreciate him coming into my district and having, it's been more than 2 meetings that he's come and spoken to some of my constituents about the realities that we face. It is a very complex issue. And so I want to just, again, shout him out.
Yeah.
so you and Chief, y'all can hear that.
Again, he's open whenever you call if you need him. And again, it's not just you, it's citizens as well, residents that might call, businesses that might call. He's accessible to them all.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Commissioner Stone.
just real quickly, it's my understanding that many of these people that are homeless, when they're confronted and offered assistance, they don't want it.
Sometimes they do and sometimes they do not.
Okay, and that's concerning because the ones that do suffer from substance abuse and mental health issues, it's very difficult to convince them to go into treatment because they kind of want to do what they're accustomed to doing. So I'm very grateful that you all have a designated person to try to deal with this, along with the behavioral crisis unit, to help anyone that truly is in a state of crisis, and maybe that's why they're homeless. But I know it's a very difficult situation. Like you said, if they're on private property, there's not a whole lot you can do other than work with the property owner. But it's just tragic that there are individuals out there that are homeless by virtue of medical issues of either substance abuse or mental health. So it's all rolled into one oftentimes.
It's a very complex issue.
Yes, it is, and I appreciate all that you all are doing, so
Yes,
thank you.
ma'am. Thank you. This next slide is regarding the boater safety classes offered by Marine Patrol. And Marine Patrol is teaching boater safety courses the entire month throughout the summer, each month throughout the summer. This is a Department of Natural Resources class that is offered to individuals interested in putting their boats out on our waterways. They need to take this class if they were born after January the 1st of 1998. This class actually helps them understand the laws regarding boating. And of course, as you know, the activities during the summer is much higher than it is during any other time of the year. And so the Marine Patrol is doing quite a bit. They're very active on the waterways. They are dealing with issues such as abandoned vehicles, abandoned boats, derelict vessels left on the waters. They do what they can to try to identify the owners of those vessels so that they can have those vessels removed because they become a hazard in addition to an eyesore, and they actually have pollutants associated with the vessels as they're left out on the water. So they actually issue citations to those individuals if they can identify who the boats belong to. We try to do our best to identify the owner of the vessel without having to cite, but sometimes we just have to do what we have to do. And so they're doing a pretty good job right now in issuing tickets when they have to issue tickets, and offering boater safety classes so that those individuals that's interested can know the laws and the rules before something happens that causes an accident. This next slide, we try to do what we can do to identify those officers, those employees that work with the CCPD and do a fantastic job in helping us to get the job done, particularly when it comes down to helping police officers handle calls for services that they don't necessarily need to spend their time or tap their time on. And so I want to recognize these two individuals because they write more reports, non-emergency reports there, that is, than police officers write in a given year. For an example, the CROs, and I'll identify who they are. We have Latoya Brown, if you could stand, and we have Louis Casanova. These two individuals are extremely valuable to us. These are our community resource officers, and again, they respond to non-emergency calls. Their response to non-emergency calls amounts to, year to date, over 600 reports having been written by these two individuals. In comparison, just so you have an idea, in comparison to what a normal police officer responds to on emergency calls. And their calls amount to maybe about close to 100 compared to these two individuals responding and writing over 600 reports in a given year. So we'd like to acknowledge and recognize when good work is done. And again, because they exist in the police department, it actually prevents police officers from being tied up on non-emergency calls so that they can respond and be more proactive with emergency calls versus non-emergency calls. So again, these two individuals do a fantastic job of that. Lewis works on the east side in the East Precinct, in the East Precinct, and LaToya works in the West Precinct. So thank you very much for your services. I want to make sure that you got recognized for all that work that you do. And this next slide, I believe Chief Hadley has already preferenced you on Georgia State certification, and I would ask him to come up because this is something that he initiated. He's done a fantastic job of making sure that we get through our state certification. And so we've been actually, the CCPD has been actually awarded with that certification plaque. And so Chief Hadley, if you can come up. Thank you. You're welcome. This plaque is representation of all of the work that the CCPD has done in meeting the standards, meeting all of the rules and regulations that the state of Georgia requires us to meet in order to actually achieve this certification. And so the individuals that worked extremely hard in making sure that we meet our policies in place, meet those standards, I would like to identify them as well. Come up, Sergeant. This would be Sergeant Flannery and his assistant officer, Star Jones, Eleanor Jones. These individuals worked tirelessly for the entire year in getting these standards met by the Chatham County Police Department. And so I wanted to make sure that they were recognized as well. But I believe Chief Hadley wanted to make a comment regarding this because it started under his leadership. So, Chief.
All right, while Chief is getting ready to speak, tell him back there we need a photo. Where the photographer went? You got it, Rob? Okay. All right. When you get through speaking, turn around so he can get the photo that goes into. All right. Go ahead, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And first and foremost, I want to thank Sergeant Flannery and Officer Jones. Really, they do all the work. We just had kind of a goal to reach Georgia certification. Actually, in the job announcement when I got hired, if Mr. Kegler, I'm sure remembers, and Ms. Kramer, that was one of the deliverables, that you achieve Georgia certification and potentially national CALIA certification, in the first. It was a little ambitious. They said the first year. I didn't think we could do that. So, but here we are. Sergeant Flannery and Officer Jones have done an exemplary job. Roger is known throughout the state for his acumen in accreditation. He goes to other agencies and does their certification process, so he's really sought after in that regard. This is not sexy work. It's very tedious. It's reading a lot of policies and making sure that, we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. And in our ADHD world with, phones and all that, we all can get distracted very easily. But he sits down in front of that computer as well as Officer Jones and goes through that meticulously and makes sure that, we follow up and we're doing what we should do. So all the credit goes to Sergeant Flannery and Officer Jones for us achieving this great accomplishment for Chatham County.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And Chief, we appreciate you using your stunt double to help getting that. No, I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, we always people they get us confused. It's the hair. It's the hair.
What you call him? A stunt double.
The stunt double. Yeah.
It's double. Turn around so we can get the picture. Come closer. Okay. All righty. All right. Now, before you move, Ms. Gregory.
So you guys were talking about, you mentioned like community resources, and also we're talking about shoplifting increasing. and like how there was a family that was involved together in a crime. And it made me think about the front porch initiative that you were talking about earlier. So like, what's the relationship between the police department and that? Is it like close, or is that more with human resources in another department, or is it like directly related to the police?
In some of those cases, they can't give you some of the facts because it's an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
All right. So, but yeah, if they found out that there are kids involved, then we have connection with the front porch to try to get them out of there. But as I said, that sounds like organized, because some adults are spearheading this stuff to get it done, especially if it's a family of folk. And the one thing that I'm gonna use, my wife's gonna get me when I get home, but that's all right. I can take the beating. All right. They ain't homeless when they're doing this. Okay, so it's not the homeless. It's an organized outfit, but more than that, what preventive measures they're using, they can't expose now because it's an open and ongoing investigation. All right. I hope that answers your question as much as we can answer.
Can I point
Chief,
something out?
unless you wanna add some more to
No,
it.
so that's pretty much accurate. We never
Right.
get involved in an investigation that's ongoing.
Right.
And for obvious reasons, we just
Yeah.
can't do that.
But there is a relationship.
Yes.
between the police
Oh,
and
yes, yes. We do
Commissioner-
work with Front Porch for sure.
Right.
As do other municipalities around the city.
And just to caveat on that, oftentimes, Ms. Gregory, the referrals are coming from the court system to the front porch. So, yeah, the police might be who first initially encounter them, but then once it gets into the court system, oftentimes they're making that referral to the front porch rather than the police making a direct referral.
Right. That's right.
And the board, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the school board,
And the
right.
school board.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else about the award?
No, sir, that's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
To wrap up, for myself, I know Commissioner Kicklighter, you met with Chief Haley. Did he disappear? Oh. You and Chief Haley met, I believe, and answered some questions that you had relative to an individual involved in the homelessness. I think, was it about a week ago that you all responded out to the area and addressed the issue with that individual on Shad Road? Yes. Right. So did you get your answers to that situation resolved? That's, oh, okay.
People that we met with are very satisfied, and
Right.
I'm very satisfied that
Okay, very good.
some good things are gonna happen, so we appreciate y'all.
Good, good, good. Yes, Sergeant Young is already working on that situation.
Yes, ma'am, y'all are the
Just do what
best.
you will. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the end of my presentation.
All right, any questions from any commissioner, any of our youth commissioners? And let me say, one of the tools I think that we can talk to homeowners about, or property owners, I should say, right? If they'll start posting their property that says no trespassing, then that gives the officers more tools in their kit to use, because if it's posted, like she said, they go in there and they find out that the person has been given permission to be there, but if they have it posted,
Right.
that would help you out even more.
Tremendously, and on top of it, we have forms that we have individuals, our property owners, to
Right.
complete that would ban an individual from coming
Right.
onto their property. And so if they complete the form, the officers won't even need to call that property owner. They already
Right.
have it on file, so.
It's posted, they got the form, so they know they're not supposed to be there, so then
Yes.
the officer can respond appropriately.
That's right.
And that's what we're getting to.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
All right. All right, as we move right along,
Just 1 second, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
We had a late-breaking news story. We have a nefarious criminal that we arrested in Commissioner Whiteley's district. We just got to show you the video in all transparency here. CCPD at their best.
you caught up with him.
That tape is not gonna be yeah. Oh yeah, that's terrifying. Aw.
So that's the little baby alligator that we arrested for intimidation and terroristic threats.
I'm glad it's a baby alligator. Y'all can say what you wanna, but exactly. And my thing is, if he 2 or 3 feet, grab him. But if he 5 or 6 feet, run. All right, don't be grabbing them, especially if you don't know what you're doing. But they did good. And I always say this now, and we have to remember that we are moving where they live all the time. So we in their habitat.
You got that right.
So you expect them, all right? Just like the alligator I saw climbing the fence, okay? And I didn't realize until I saw that alligators could climb the fence. But
taking that cough medicine?
Hey.
After you saw that?
No, I went to a friend's house and he's got 2 of those little small dogs, all right? And he let them loose to run out in the yard, and the dogs were raising sand out there. And he said, "Now normally they just run around and play. What they raising?" We went out the slide door, and there's the alligator coming up over the fence. That's what the dogs were climbing the fence. So don't let nobody tell you alligators
What kind
can't
of
climb.
fence? Chain link?
Yeah, chain link
Wow.
fence. Yeah. In fact, that's why he moved off Hutchinson Island, because that's where it was. And so I told him, I said, remember now, those gators were here before you got here. All right, let us move the agenda right along. We have the action calendar. We didn't have anyone who wanted to separate anything or got all our questions answered. So may I have a motion to accept the action calendar in its entirety?
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the action calendar in its entirety.
Then second.
Properly motion and second that the action calendar be accepted in its entirety. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. Commissioner Adams, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Adams vote yes, waiting on 4. All right, there you go. All right, we go now to first readers. And let me say now, before I start to read this, in both petitioner properties 1 and 2, all right, we have to have public input. And so if you plan to speak on petition 1 by Donald Dykes Jr., please come and sign up with the manager. All right, we got a pad. There's a pad right here. All right. All right, is there anyone speak for or against or about with item number 1? And I'll read it now. The petitioner, Donna Dykes Jr., is proposing to a combined plus minus 1.4 acres from R-2EO, 2-family residential environmental overlay, to P-R-A plan residential agriculture. The intent is to rezone map amendment at 9965 Ferguson Avenue and 10,001 Bethesda, MPC file number Z-823-000-406-MAP pin number 1047001 and 105040405. The MPC recommends approval with conditions, District 1. Now, is there anyone who wants to speak on? Is the petitioner here? Would you like to speak?
Not today.
Okay, not today. All right, you do it during the second reading. All right, sir? All right?
Mr. Chairman, if I
Yes.
can just say one thing, as this one is a little bit different than the second one, when we see these notes that the MPC recommends approval with conditions, I want to just say to my colleagues, as well to MPC, I think it's pertinent that important that we not only address the conditions, but should we approve it, assign who's gonna police those conditions, you know, because there's been a few situations in my district, I know Commissioner Kicklighter's and Commissioner Milton's district, where zoning changes or amendments were approved with conditions, but then nobody actually went to check on the conditions. So it's almost as if you didn't apply any conditions. So I think it's important for us to just address
So
that in our next
that
meeting.
should go to code enforcement, shouldn't it?
Yes, sir. It's the responsibility of building safety
Right.
or engineering, depending on what the conditions are. But we'll make sure staff follows up on that.
Well, thank you.
And make sure you know what the conditions are. Right? So it should be in the staff report what those conditions are, so that the commissioners will know the condition, and then code enforcement and engineering, whoever, can make sure that those conditions are met. All right?
Do we
All
need
right.
to open and close a public hearing, or?
No, it's not a public hearing, it's
Okay.
public input.
Good.
Public hearing, now, we have to open and close next
Next time.
time around, but not today. All right? I'm right? Don't let me go wrong. All right. All right, let's go to number 2, the petitioner, Pat Shea. And let me say, start right here and say, former Commissioner Pat Shea. All right. For Live Oaks Living LLC is proposing a rezoning, map amendment, and accept of a GDP General Development Plan at 5011 5103 Girard Avenue. Requests rezoning from P-R-3-6 multifamily residential 6 units per acre to PUD-M planned unit development multifamily mixed residential development including townhouses, flats, and apartment, MPC file number Z-0324-000459-map pin 107-8901-016, 107-8901-020. District 5, MPC recommends approval. All right, I know the petitioner is here. Is anyone else want to speak on this issue? All right. Commissioner Shea, you want to speak, sir?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
I'm
you.
Patrick Shea. I'm the senior principal with Gunmeyer Hoff Shea Architects. And I had a conversation with Commissioner Milton, and she had some questions, and I wanted to be able to be here in order to be able to address those. But one of the things that I think I can do that will help is put up a site plan on the screen. I think you can see that. This is Girard Avenue right here. There are 2 lots now. They'll be recombined. They're very, very deep. This is the Veterans Parkway, right-of-way on this side. The property is actually bisected by a county drainage ditch. There's a little bit of wetlands back in here, Tanya, but it's been surveyed and avoided. It doesn't expand because the drainage ditch is there to catch the water that runs off. And what we're proposing is a combination of townhouses and flats that are over top of garages and 2 small apartment buildings with the requisite number of parking spaces. And let's see if I can, oh, wait a minute. Well, I have a little 3-dimensional image here, but that's not necessary if we can't get it to open.
She can.
Oh, this right here?
Yep.
See, man, I need me an IT director. There it
There you
is. Okay. So this isn't actually, you can't see out to the front, I'm sorry. Right down here in the tiny little corner, this is Girard Avenue. And there's a bus stop there. It's a great bus route. It's a CAT route. We met with Chatham Area Transit and discussed that with them. And it was fortuitous because Girard Avenue has just been made both inbound and outbound. So that will be a very handy stop. And the developer and I have agreed to work with CAT to make sure that we have a 21st century stop there with Wi-Fi and all the nice cover so that folks will be able to use the transit system to full effectiveness. So Commissioner Milton, I hope that helps you with a little bit with what we have in intention.
Can you maximize it, Commissioner Shea?
I don't.
That middle
let's-
box
let's-
up there.
Let's see here. Well, there you go. I'm telling you what, I need a commissioner as well.
All right, Commissioner Milton, you got a question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My concern is, and I want you to know that Chatham County has already proposed to do road improvements on Garrard Avenue. It's in the design phase now. And I want to know just how much of that is going to impact what you're trying to do and how much what you're doing is going to impact what we're trying to do. Because I don't know how far back you starting off of Garrard Avenue. Because the proposed plan is to make it walkable with sidewalks that has been presented to the community, and also to make sure that your setback is far enough that we don't.
Absolutely, no. I mean, that's great news. I wasn't aware of that. But, you know, our plan, of course, doesn't actually go on to the right-of-way. And we also have a very generous setback right here. We were showing sidewalks as part of our development. So one way or another, we'll coordinate with whatever the improvements are planned for Garrard Avenue. And it does need it. They need sidewalks.
I rode it the other day, and
Yeah,
I was that close to a bus.
yeah.
And there's no shoulder, there's no road, there's ditches on the side now.
Right, yeah, you're right. So that'll be a great thing, and we'll work in conjunction with your engineering department. As far as the amount of traffic load that comes from this, I mean, to be quite honest, it's fairly negligible.
How many units are you planning to put in here?
No more than 25 per acre.
Yeah, the maximum is around 80, but we're not planning on doing that many.
Yeah, I was just thinking you might need to reduce your density.
No, I don't think so.
No?
We have already gone below what's the maximum allowable. This is a good plan. It's got townhouses that are out closer to the road, very much compatible with the townhouse development that's to the south, and two very small apartment buildings that are set back deeply off the road.
Will there be a traffic study for this?
It's not required, but if you want to have one, we could pay $5,000 to have somebody tell me there's not enough load.
I mean, the road is terrible now.
Yeah.
And of course, traffic comes, they're now coming from Gamble Road, coming around, and we need to do something about the speeding.
Yeah.
And all of that's happening, and you're putting your community right across from another community that's fully developed.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have growing pains.
We're looking forward to that.
Everybody on the west side gonna have growing pains. I'm coming, I see you. Everybody on the west side gonna have growing pains. Let me go to Commissioner Kicklighter first, because I saw him.
Hey.
Hey there.
So with the current density allowed as is before you do anything, am I correct that you could have 6 units per acre currently before you did a change or anything?
I think that's correct. I know that Edward's here, but I believe that's correct.
Okay, and the change allows how many per acre?
I believe it allows up to 25, but that's
Okay.
not what we're
How many
proposing.
total units? I didn't hear you a minute ago. Are you talking about on here, and how big is the area?
I can't zoom in here to find the number right in front of me, but it's 40-some.
Okay.
It's
And-
just a little bit more than half that's allowed.
And how many acres did you say?
It's a little over 3 acres
A little
total.
over 3 acres. Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Youth Commissioner Wigfall?
Yes, sir. I believe it's more of a comment. So you're the administrator of Live Oaks Living LLC?
No, sir, I'm an architect that's been hired by
Oh, okay,
Live Oak
okay.
LLC.
Because I see him everywhere on stages. I was like, if he's administrator, I'll support the petition. I was, yeah.
No, he's a hired architect by him.
I'm just a hired gun here.
Yeah. Let me say one of the things that I see in this is that even though this has gone to MPC, see, and like you were unaware of what we are planning to do along Garrard Avenue, now you know. And that's one of the things I've been preaching, that all the municipalities need to let the county know so that the county engineers can share with you our proposal for what we're redoing on Garrard Avenue, because how it is now is not the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know, and we often run into, in fact, I hope I don't make anybody mad when I say this, but we've got that problem with Pipe Makers Canal, all right? Out there in, where the, no, where the Tanga Mall is, all right? They built right up to the canal. Now we need to make improvements to the canal, and we've got problems trying to get that. But having this come before us now and then getting with the engineers to see what they're doing. Now, one of the questions I have, and it's gonna have to take somebody more than me who knows more about this, and I think, John, you might be the one. With capital improvement, we're doing something with that canal, with the, out there, you know what I'm talking about? Out there in the back of that in the back of Rockingham. There's also some things that we're doing with them too. Aren't they doing something with this canal? With this, when he said there's a drainage, that doesn't fit in, is not connected? Okay. All right, so now, see, I know, all right, I'm not far off. Dots connect, all right? And if we allow this to go on and don't straight, the canal it connects to, that connects to the other canal, that connects to the other canal, gonna create a problem for somebody down the line, see? Right, see, but see, like he said before, they don't know that. That's why I'm bringing it to your knowledge now, so that we can get with engineering and get with those folks who are out there. Isn't that Capital?
Capital
Isn't the one that Capital? On their land, and they're the ones who doing the thing we need to do with that, right?
It's kind of, yes, they've got the building.
Okay, all right.
They built it in a way that you couldn't get in there and build it.
Right,
So
right, see?
We're building a project and the building simultaneously.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, the next step after this, if we're successful in getting it rezoned, will be to go and, we're working with a civil engineer right now to do an engineered plan for a specific development plan.
Right.
And they'll coordinate them
Right.
with all of the county departments at that time. So,
But here's my point.
yeah, we should have talked
I want you
sooner.
to have all the information
Thank
going
you.
in.
Yeah.
Rather than getting in, you know, it's like they say, we've got to straighten out some stuff and we got to turn over some rocks and we don't know what's under the rock.
Yeah.
See?
Fair enough.
But if you have the information beforehand, then we know what's under the rock and we can plan for it and we can have it. And I say again, I've asked all the municipalities if they would do the same kind of thing with the county engineers, we would have less stress down the road, all right? Because it becomes stressful. But I'm telling you this, I don't lose no sleep over it, okay? Because there's a way to fix it, okay? And so if you fix it right in the beginning, it don't cost you as much in the end or down in the middle. And that's the point I want to make about this. That's why I brought up when you talk about the drainage part, that's the county's drainage part, I know it connects to what we're doing over in Rockingham. And see, you gotta understand, these waterways in Chatham County connect, I don't care if they gonna connect at your door, they connect a mile and a half down the road from you. And if that water get blocked, it's gonna come and knock on your door. All right, and so that's why I want to make sure that we're doing all these things and getting them all in place and getting them all right, all right? Anybody else or anything else you need to say?
No, I just thank you for your help.
Okay, no problem, no problem. I'd rather us do it right and get it right so that we don't have to come back and it starts to cost the county millions of dollars to straighten out something that could have been prevented. And I want to make sure we prevent it so we don't have to spend millions.
Okay.
Straighten it out, all right?
I just want to say thank you for coming and presenting.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
My pleasure. It's nice to be back in this room. It's been a long time. Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
will these be market value? That's the plan, do we know? Or, Mr. Shea?
It's planned to be market housing. There's not a strategy yet to try. Although I will say that the small flats that are over top of the garages, they're like downtown carriage houses. They won't be rent controlled, but they'll be relatively affordable.
Gotcha. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
So are these properties going to be for sale or it's rental?
Right now, it's planned to all be rental.
All right? Did we get everybody? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right? Now, all right, Commissioner.
Well, now that you're official
presentation's over, I just wanted to say it's so good to see you, and I enjoyed all our years working together, and you're a great asset to the county commission.
You're very kind to say that, and I'll try not to be a stranger.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Oh, you won't be. All right, thank you. Board approval of a restated and amended Chatham County Employees Retirement Plan effective January 1, 2024. Is there a motion?
No, the first reader.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, I'm sorry. First reading. I shouldn't have moved my thing. All right, it's read into the records. All right, let's move on. There are no second readings. Now we come to information, Mr. Manager.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. At your desk there, you should have a document that has update from the Health Department on vaccinations and updates from the Parks and Recreation Department. Really letting y'all know what's going on. They're in a busy season at Parks and Recreation, so I want to make sure y'all had the information in front of you in case one of your constituents asks questions. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right. With that, there is a need for us to have executive session for appointment.
Personnel, litigation, land
acquisition. All right. So may I have a motion to recess from this session and go into executive session?
So moved.
Properly moved and second. Any questions? Please signify your vote. Commissioner Adams, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right, sir, and Ms. Janice will be calling you.
Take care, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you.